Hi, everybody. Hope you can hear me. I'm sitting here drinking my lemon water. It is 9:42 a.m. right now here in Spain, and I have contractors here that are replacing my water heater. So if you hear a lot of noise, that's what's going on. Plus, they're doing a lot of construction outside my building as well. And I'm just glad not to be at a 9 to 5 right now. And there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on, and I'm feeling quite peaceful. So I thought I'd come on and take a few minutes to see if anybody has any questions for me. I know most of my viewers are on the East Coast, and you might be sleeping, but you'll watch the replay hopefully. But I just wanted to talk about how a lot of times when we make a change that's so drastic and it's something really big, we think that it's supposed to be perfect. Nothing's going to happen. Everything is just going to be hunky dory. Hunky dory, there's a Gen X word. But as you can hear, maybe it's not. Um, I didn't plan on having a new. Okay. I didn't plan on this happening, but it is what it is. I think they'll be done in a couple of seconds. I think. My dog is sleeping through it. He's over here like knocked out. He doesn't even care. So he's used to these sounds as well. He's peaceful also. But we want to make these leaps from our old life into something new because we feel like when we get there, everything's going to be great. It's going to be peaceful. We're going to have, it's going to be beautiful, of course, but everything's going to be perfect. My nervous system will be all relaxed and everything. And let me tell you, that happens, but it doesn't happen automatically. You got to put in some real work to make that happen. It didn't just happen all of a sudden because I moved here. It happened when I was very intentional about the things I listened to, the things I started reading, mainly my Bible, really putting in time with the Word, and also just I listen to audible books all the time, in addition to like regular reading material, but it takes all of those things to be very intentional. I changed my diet. I had started changing my diet before I left the US, and I'm still doing those same things to make sure that I don't get inflammation, which causes all types of reactions in my body, and it shows up on the outside, and it shows up on how I react day to day. Because if when you're think about when you're feeling sluggish, how are you going to move through your day? If you've eaten something or drank a lot of coffee that day, how are you going to show up? You're going to be nervous. You might overreact to certain things, and people will feel that, you know, and just making sure that, after you get a certain age, after your 50 mark, you got to get your protein in. And when I feel stronger, I'm going to show up stronger, and my nervous system will be calmer because of it. And I just feel more relaxed. Yeah. It's a beautiful day here. It's a beautiful day here every day. And it's not because of the weather, it's because of the mental work that I've done to get to this place where I just feel at peace inside. Yeah, it's beautiful outside. It really is. I mean, I'm thankful every day. And actually, you can do this work wherever you are. You don't have to wait until you make your leap to make your exit. Do the work now so that when you get to that point, when you're ready to make your exit, it will just be a smooth transition. You won't have to be concerned when you get there, like, why am I still feeling this way like I did back in, you know, the condition or whatever the environment was where you are now, whether it's in corporate or the toxic relationship. You don't you can put in the work now so that you don't have to feel that way when you do make your leap. And I know you're going to make it. I know you are. I got faith in you. It's a lot of light coming through here. Hope you guys can see me and it's not too much of a glare. We have in Spain, we have where's my hand? My hand is here. Persianas. They're called persianas. So you roll them down in the better part of the day to keep the heat out, keep the sun out, and it cools off the apartment so that you don't need the air conditioning running. So I have a couple of fans set up, but right now it's very cool in here. So I have it halfway down. Now, if I put it all the way down, I like to have the light throughout the day. And then towards the evening, which it's still daylight here by 8:30 at night, even by 9 o'clock, then people let it up. So that's what I do too. I mean, at first, every morning I would hear people either rolling down their shades or rolling them back up. And they're kind of loud. And so are these contractors. They're actually, I wouldn't call them contractors. They're more like technicians because I didn't contract them. So in my complex, the Spanish government has given grants to a certain amount of buildings to renovate, and so we were selected. This whole complex was selected as one of them to have the renovations, and I'm so thankful because I bought this place not knowing that. I fully intended to do a whole bunch of renovations to myself. I enjoy doing projects like this, like fixer uppers, because I've had a few homes where I've had to do that. And so I fully intended to do that at myself and hire people and do some of the work myself. But they have come in there, they replaced the whole balcony doors, brand new. They replaced every single window in this place to make it insulated. They insulated the whole outside of the building. They put solar panels on the roof of every complex. And what else did they do? Oh, they're installing a new hot water heater. So here in Spain, what is typical is we have these big, huge propane tanks that are 12 kilograms, 14 kilograms, and you either have to have them delivered or you go pick one up yourself, which I don't do because they're very heavy. And they're filled with propane, and that's how you heat up your hot water. Well, now they're installing in this tank where I no longer have to use those propane tanks anymore. So the propane tanks are an extra cost every month, about every month. It's just me, so it's like it lasts for about a month and a half. Um, but it typically costs about 16 euro for it. And I mean, it's really not a lot at all, but still, it's an extra cost. And now I won't have to do that. Now, my electric go up? Maybe. That's a wait and see thing, but I'm just glad I don't have to be bothered with that tank, because the tank situation was another whole situation, trying to get them deliver it here every single time. And it was just, it's a lot to deal with. So I'm glad that this is happening. There's a lot of other work they're still going to do. They had disconnected my air conditioning for a while, and so they, because they were painting the outside of the building, we had red brick all around the building. And so the brick, it allows the cold to just really come in and inside, so that it gets really cold at night. So they have insulated the whole building. They put waterproofing over that, and then they painted the building. So the outside part, where there's another part of the air conditioning unit that's on the outside, they had to disconnect everything to paint the walls. So they recently, it's been a while, because they started this project last April, and now we're in August. So it's been over a year since they've been doing this work. There are about, I want to say, I don't know how buildings there are to this whole complex, but they're just, they're doing a few at a time. And now they're, I think I'm building number 5 out of maybe 10. And so, yeah, I'm just so thankful. But they're redoing all of that. They reconnected the air conditioning unit, but it needs gas apparently. So I did I you know yeah, I didn't know that. So they're coming later today to put in the gas for that. So that will be working. And I'm like, oh well, thank you very much, because the heat wave that we had was last week, and my dog and I, we survived with the fans. It wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough. When my daughter was here visiting, she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so hot." And it was. The week that she was here a few weeks ago, it was really, really hot. Um, I got her a fan for her room. What else could I do? But we had a good time. We had a good time. I'm like, look, would you rather be somewhere else or enjoying Spain? Yeah. So I see some people are in the chat. Do you have any questions for me? If you do, if you have any questions about uh, moving abroad, or exiting something that's toxic, or how I did it, let me know. I'm here to answer your questions. Yeah. So they're in there drilling and hammering and cutting and doing some other stuff. I don't know everything they're doing. By now, I just let them do their thing, because they've been coming in and out. One day, one of the contractors, they were working on the balcony, and he saw I had a guitar. He saw the guitar case, and he said, "Oh, toca la guitarra." Ah." And he picked up the guitar. He just started playing this flamenco song that was amazing. It was so beautiful. And it's very relaxed here. So relaxed. Even I've noticed that even in the simplest jobs that people may have, they have such a joy in doing their jobs at a relaxed pace. They might have breakfast in the morning or coffee at the local cafe that's right up the street before they start, because you'll see them in their uniforms. And they'll sit there and converse with everybody and talking and smiling, laughing, and then they go about their day. Then they start working. I'm really excited to have this hot water heater, and I don't even know what it's going to look like, but I'm just excited not to use those propane tanks anymore. Yeah. Well, anyone have any questions? It's an exciting time for anybody who, if you're 50 and over, I'm just going to say, I just recorded this other video that I'll probably be posting within the next couple of days, I think, because I was all over the place kind of in that video. But the point of it was to just live your life. Things happen. You're going to have distractions, and that's what I'm going to call them, distractions. I think he's smoking a cigarette, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. He's doing his thing. I don't really care. Anyway, you're going to have distractions. You look at the things that happen, and it's just passing. It's just life happening. I used to look at these kinds of things that happen as if it's, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is happening. What am I going to, how am I going to get past it? This is the most terrible thing. I was on high alert. My nervous system was on high alert all the time. All the time. I had such anxiety. I was eating the wrong foods all the time. My face was all swollen and puffy, and I didn't even recognize myself. But it was a life that didn't suit me. And I was trying to adjust to it instead of allowing it to, not allowing it to, but to, instead of removing myself into a different zone, because I could have stayed there and found another place. Okay, now the smoke is starting to bother me. He's smoking a cigarette. I don't know what kind of cigarette that is, but it's strong. But I could have very well allowed myself to stay there and just kind of tune everybody out. But I knew that in order to do that, I would have to really still remove myself from the people who I talk to on a regular basis, from that job, from the relationship. I would have still have had to make certain decisions even there if I had stayed in the US. But I had to make the mental shift before I left to tell myself and to talk myself through this new way of thinking, that I wasn't going to let those things bother me anymore, because it was either them or it was going to be me. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to choose me. And in doing that, I started working out. Like I said, I changed my diet and I started to feel stronger every day. And then I was able to mentally make the decision to leave out of the US and to actually leave out of the relationship and out of the job. And to tell them, on a day when they were giving me more pushback yet again, and they were saying, giving me flack for taking vacation, if I had worked on myself first before that happened, I would have been like, yeah, you're right. I, I'm sorry, or who knows what I would have said, like anything to appease them. But instead, I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm not happy anymore. I'm not happy here anymore. I'm leaving. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. And I just left. Did I know how I was going to do it? No. Financially, no. But once I made that decision, everything else started falling into place because then it's like, okay, you made this decision now. Now you don't have any other, you don't have anything else to fall back on. So you got to figure this out quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's what I did. One phone call at a time, one Google search at a time. I just made it work. Oh, they're ringing the doorbell. Hold on. We'll come back. Okay. So I think another contractor's coming upstairs, so I think I have to cut this short. But no questions from me, I guess, about anything for now. So I guess you guys will catch this on the replay, and I may retire in Cadiz or Rhonda in 2028. Going solo can be intimidating. Where is Rhonda? I don't know where that is. Let me tell you, going solo can be intimidating, but it can also be the most wonderful experience of your life because you don't have to deal with, hold on. We'll come back. Okay. You don't have to worry about anybody else's expectations. You don't have to be concerned about appeasing anybody else. You can be whoever you want to be, whoever you've always wanted to be. It's a totally different experience. It's wonderful. It really is. And things come up. Just think, wherever you are now, where are you now? 1.5 hours from Malaga. Okay. Okay. I know Malaga. I was just there in, when was I there? When the heck was I there? Not too long ago. I've been going all over the place. But yeah, that's a nice area. But yeah, it's just great to. Are you in the U.S. now? Currently, Midwest USA. Okay, yeah, it's great to be able to go somewhere and reinvent yourself. It really is. I love traveling, and I think whenever I have traveled, I've always wanted to figure out when I came back from a place, wow, this was so amazing. And I was only here for a week. Like, how can I live here permanently? Because I would just fall in love with a lot of the places that I would go to. And so I always knew that I wanted to go somewhere. I didn't know where that was going to be. But I did know that it was going to be somewhere where they're speaking another language. And for me, that was here. I had never been to Spain before. I've been to Italy and France and Switzerland and other places, but I haven't been to Spain, and I just felt like Spain because I remembered my fifth grade Spanish, and if I was going somewhere where they spoke another language, that would be like the easiest language for me to learn. Um, I'm learning it a little bit, little by little. I understand more than I can speak it. Like when they're speaking slowly, I can kind of get the gist of what they're saying. But for me, speaking it, it takes some time to get it out. See, oh, finito. Oh, you guys can either hold on or I might have to end this, but I'll be back. Where are you going to get into it? Oh, okay. Oh, guys, you're still there. I'm so sorry. They were talking to me, and I think he still needs to talk with me further. I might have to get off. Let me see. I will not be working. I'm retired. No interest in side hustles. Good for you. My Spanish is not very good, and that also makes me nervous. I wanted to retire in Spain for over 40 years. Over 40 years? Oh my gosh. Do it. Please. Please do it. Don't let the Spanish, I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys could hear me with my Spanglish in there talking with them. I mean, I don't speak it hardly anything. And it doesn't even matter. You got Google Translate. He just used it for me. He's got Google Translate on his phone and talked to, spoke into it to tell me what he wanted to tell me. And I just read it from his phone. It's not, let me tell you, when I first got here, I think in the first few weeks, I had to go to the bank. There was a long line of people behind me, and I'm trying to explain what it is that I needed. See? Okay. In English. Gracias. That's all I know, gracias.
¿Algún problema?
Uh-huh. I guess that's it. Okay. Amparo.
Amparo.
Sí. I forgot what I was saying.
Bye.
Oh, adios. Hold on, guys. Oh my gosh, my water heater looks so beautiful. And I don't have to use those propane tanks anymore. I'm so excited right now. See, it's things like that. So little things. I'm just really excited about this. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to worry about speaking Spanish. I was at the bank and I was trying to explain to them, what was I doing? I think I wanted to get an ATM card from the bank there, and I'm trying to explain to them, and the Wi-Fi wouldn't work on my phone because I didn't have a new phone yet. I needed a new phone, and I wasn't set up with a service, a local service here. So my phone, but I had that issue with my phone anyway when I would travel. It didn't work. So I couldn't use Google Translate. Let me tell you, the people, and this happens everywhere I go, they're so patient and kind. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a whole line. They're like, no, tranquila, tranquila, háblame, like they don't care. They're just there to serve. They're just patient like that. So don't worry about things like that. Technology, Google. Yeah, technology for me too, let me tell you. Because I don't know, when my daughter's here, I just rely on her because even though I've been here the longest, like she speaks Spanish because her friends, she has a lot of Spanish friends, and all it like has for a long time. And I just like here, can you figure this out for me? Because sometimes I just want to check out. Sometimes you get tired of having to be on all the time to understand what they're saying or get through what you're trying to say. But that's when you can just go home into your dwelling and relax and take a breath and go back out again. What I will do at times, if I know I'm going to a specific place, whether it's a restaurant or a grocery store, I'll prepare. I'll look up certain phrases like where is the milk, or that's an easy one. I know that one anyway, but I'm just saying, like, where's the olive oil, or how much does this cost, or whatever it is that you want to say at the restaurant. I might look up the menu ahead of time and want to order like a well done something or other. How do you say that? So, those there's things that you can do ahead of time, and when you keep doing that, it's repetition. And foreign language is like math. So the more you do it, the more your that muscle memory will kick in. And when you, like, right now, when I go to the store and they're talking so fast, at first I didn't know what they were saying because they're like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what in the world? But it's like when we're speaking English, it's very fast to them, but we're actually, like, right now I'm speaking kind of slow, but because I say things like kinda or I'm gonna, that's what they do too in Spanish. So all the words sound jumbled together, but you get used to hearing it. And like if I'm in the supermarket and at the end, if they're asking me, do I want to pay in cash or credit, or do I want a bag, or do whatever, you get used to hearing those phrases and they become commonplace. I think I'll rent before buying. I absolutely recommend that because that will tell you whether you love the place enough to stay there. I didn't do that. I actually bought my place online through a video call. I fell in love with the area and I just, wanted to find a place. Like right now, um, the prices, real estate prices in Spain are going up so high. It's crazy, especially in Alicante. I'm in Alicante, and the prices have already, like, if you look up, you'll see that real estate prices have increased 11%, which is even more than they've increased in the U.S. Now, the prices are lower here, astronomically lower than they are in the US. But it's just to say that the prices are increasing and rent is increasing along with that. So when you do find a place, I would hop on it so that you can just get those benefits of of mortgage, what's it called, um, your value of what you invest in it, and it will increase in value. You are brave. Thank you. Thank you. I've always been, what did people call me when I was, they called me tough girl. But I think that's just my nature. I'm just adventurous, and I like to try new things. I like to try new foods. You know, I don't let, I don't want to, there's certain things, like I don't like roller coasters. You might like roller coasters. I don't like roller coasters. I don't even like going up in a really high elevator, but I do it. But things like this, I'll do. Going to a new country, yeah, I'll do it. Like in a few months, I'm planning a trip, and yeah. So I like to travel, but I want to go anywhere where there's Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi is key. And what's interesting is that where you go, they have their own way of communicating. Like when I was in Thailand, it was what was it called? Oh, it's called Line. They communicate through Line. Like we have WhatsApp, they have Line. And if you're not online, then it's difficult to have somebody come to, like a contractor come to, help you out or to talk with, people, because you got to have this Line app, and you got to have, in order to get Line, you got to have a Thai number, a local phone number. Now you can do that through an eSIM card, but still, you got to have a different number. Like when I was there, my son lives there, so I was using. Um, I would ask him to, because we didn't. I rented out my own place for the few months that I was there, and so I had him like take care of certain things for me, which was very convenient. He was like my secretary, and he was working too. And I don't think he didn't want to do it, but it's like, look, I'm your mama, so these are the things you got to do for me. I did like a lot of things for you over the years. This is the least you could do. I've been to Spain over a dozen times. I love the place. It is a different vibe, isn't it? Spain really is, because a lot of countries I've been to, they don't come up and talk to you. They're very reserved. They might be the friendliest people. For example, in Peru, they don't come up to you and talk to you. They're very reserved as far as like being outgoing enough to talk to you. But when you do make an effort to talk to them, they are very huggy people. They love to hug. That's their culture. In Thailand, they say, oh, it's the land of smiles. And it is, from the workers. I did not encounter that from just the everyday people who live there in like the luxury buildings and stuff, the people who were my neighbors. They were like, they would be standing there on their phones all the time, or head down looking at something, or just talking with the people that they were with on the train and everything. It's not the same as it is here. Here, people go out of their way to talk to you. I could be standing there just walking my dog and waiting for him to finish doing his business, and somebody will come up to me or make it just, and they're not making an excuse to talk to you. That's just how they are. They would comment on the day, or comment on your dog, or just say something in passing to you. And it's not uncommon to greet people. Everybody greets everybody and makes eye contact. I haven't noticed that in other countries at all. Even in America, people don't do that. People like, you look at them and they're looking like, what are you looking at? But here, people greet people, and they talk to you, and they want to get to know you. And if you make an effort, even just a little bit, to learn their language, they get so happy. I mean, people like that anywhere you go, but this is a much, much friendlier country than any place I've ever been. And I've been to a lot of different countries now. Yeah. hmm And Italy was familiar, was friendly also. They were, but it's a different air. It really is. Here, there's not a lot of pretense. And now, and I will say, I'm not in a city area. I've been to Barcelona. I haven't been to Madrid. That's on my list of places to go. But I've been to Barcelona. People were friendly there as well. But here, I wanted to be in an area where I was immersed in the culture. I didn't want people, because I wanted to force myself to speak the language, first of all. And second of all, I wanted to experience the culture. Like here, there's something going on every single week, if not every day. just the other day, there's this big parking lot where they have all these cars that can park, like free public parking. They just cleared it and had a big, huge concert there, like a big formal stadium concert. And they played well into the night, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they had fireworks and everything. And I could hear it from my window. I went over there to walk the dog around 9 o'clock. They didn't start, they were practicing there. They didn't start till like 10. And, it's just very commonplace for them to just all of a sudden set something up. They announce it first. That you get the local publications or through WhatsApp. But it's just always something going on, some random fireworks and stuff, and their parades. And I don't know all the holidays yet. It seems like every time I turn around, things are closed because of a holiday. I'm like, why are they closed today? I'll go out, get ready to go to the grocery store, and everything's closed. And the siesta, I really had to get used to that. I'm much better than I was, because I'm sitting here and I'm working, and then even though I get up early, and by the time I get out, everything's closed or shut down because of the siesta, and they don't open back up again until 5. So like from 2 to 5, there's nobody on the street. I was the only one. I'm like, where the heck is everybody? But it's hot. It's hot outside, so they know better. And I'm the only one out there walking my dog. They have dogs too. There's dogs everywhere. My dog is so social here because he's got a whole community of dogs here. But nobody's out around those times except me. But I found little places that stay open when I need it. So that's good. I've never received the stares I often hear about on YouTube videos. By the way, I've been to Barcelona. Too many pickpockets. Yeah, I've heard, but there's pickpockets other places too. And you know what? When you don't have pickpockets, you have people scamming you. And I don't mean just regular folks. You have to be concerned in other countries about um, I don't know if I should say this online. I'm not going to say it. There are a lot of things that you have to be worried about no matter where you go, no matter where you go. And you just have to be careful and find out, do your research, do your due diligence. I will say that. Because places where I would say, oh my gosh, it's so nice here, it's calm, I feel so safe here. There are things going on behind the scenes that it could happen in a moment's notice, when you least expect it. And there's things you have to be aware of. They're everywhere, not just Barcelona. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Real justice. Are you an attorney? I guess everybody asks you that. Yeah, so that's what's going on with me. This is going to be a really long replay for people because of my break. I had to talk to the contractors. I'm so glad about that hot water heater and that propane tank that I just got that not long ago. So I mean, I got it a while ago, so I was about to call them up to get another one, and um, now I don't have to because I don't need it anymore. I'm so glad, but I have to call the company to have them pick it up. Yeah, so that's good. That's going to be out of my house. And the propane tank, it took up a whole big cabinet. So already on one side of my cabinetry, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to get part of it cut off in order to install a washing machine. And I'm like, okay, well, I have a lot of cabinets in the kitchen. So it won't, I said, okay, I'll just shift everything and just condense everything. But now that cabinet's going to be empty, I got my cabinet back. So I'm so excited. Mathematician and engineer. Okay. All right. Smart. Are you from the US? Where'd my dog go? Moose, where are you? Moose, what are you doing in there? I told you you're not allowed in there. Didn't I tell you that? Come here. Come here. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. What were you doing in there? What were you doing in there? Huh? What were you doing in there? You know you're not allowed in there, right? We talked about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, go somewhere, but not in there. Born and raised in USA. Okay. Yeah, me too. I always felt, even from a young age, when I would meet somebody from another country, I thought that was so exciting. I thought, wow, being born in another country, that must be the best thing. Or people would ask me where I'm from, like, the U.S. Boring, nothing special. But here, when you tell people you're from the New York area, they're like, oh, New York. And all the kids want to go to New York. They don't understand. They just don't understand. It's just so funny how we all are victims of what's on social media and on television. It's crazy. And not just about living in a certain area. I'm talking about culturally, race, all of that. Like, we just fall victim to whatever is on the television. Whatever they say, oh, that must be the way it is. East Coast. Okay. Yeah, East Coast. Me too. Me too. You know, um, every time I go someplace and a young person says to me, oh, I want to go to New York. I want to live in New York. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You want to live right where you are right now. You have no idea how beautiful this is. They're like, no, I know it's pretty. It's pretty. But you want to go to New York? Are you rich? Because if you're not rich and you go to New York, you're going to be, that's such a hustle. If I, living in New York, and I've lived in Manhattan and Brooklyn for a number of years, um, I would never do that again unless I lived in, I still wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying, if I had to, I would, I would want to live in a penthouse apartment, make sure there's a garage underneath that building. And, that's the kind of, like, in that type of area. Because otherwise, I'm not living in New York. I'm just not. Mm-mm. I remember when I worked in this one office, and the owner of the place would say, "Oh, this is such a great area. There's nothing goes on. It's like the Upper West Side. It's like, oh, nothing goes on in this. It's such a family environment." It was like in the '80s, West '80s, and it was a beautiful area. But, dude, you have no idea what's going on in your neighborhood. That's how blind you are to everything, to what's really going on. So I introduced him to the Citizens app. I don't know if you know that app. It will tell you everything that's going on in your area, police wise. And when he looked at it, he was addicted to looking at it for a very long time, until he finally said, I can't do this anymore. There was a gunshot at that corner, a stabbing at that corner. There was like always something going on every single day. And he had no idea. He's thinking, oh, I live in a posh neighborhood. Mm-mm. You don't even know. I'll take Spain over New York City all day long. Yep. They know the USA from the Hollywood narrative. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a shame. I worked in news, so I know. I know how we spin the stories. You that's just what you do to make headlines. Um, yeah. And it's worse for television because you got to capture people's attention on a regular basis. And in the news industry, I was always competing for that lineup. You want your story heard first in the evening news in the lineup. So you got to put that spin on it that people are gonna that they want to watch. Okay. Oh, my computer is about to die. I didn't know I was talking that long. Well, everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you all who are going to see the replay. And I would love to do these chats more often, but I know that it's not I just thought I'd do it in a time where, because I know people watch from Canada and um, some other countries also. So I wanted to also, hit some other time zones. So that's why I came on this early. But I do have to get to work. I'm building my own business, and there's things that I have to take care of. I'm glad I got the dog out early this morning because I knew those contractors were coming early. So they've been here it didn't even take them that long. And you know what? The contractors here are very particular. They're really good. Like they don't like slap something up and call it a day. They care about the quality of work they're doing. It might take them forever to show up. Like when you do hire a contractor, like August, like right now, I need a plumber to come. I'm not even bothering to make the phone call in August because they're all gone. They're all gone for vacation, so they won't be back again until September. But that's just you get used to things like that. But don't even be concerned about moving because of the language. It's 3:40 a.m. Okay, go to sleep, and I'm getting to work. Thank you, and I will see you guys on the next live. Bye.